frustrating thing that happens in our industry is when people are going to get qualified for a home loan, the income that we can't use for qualification. And there's different reasons for this. So a few of the things that we can't necessarily use, there's exceptions to every rule, so calm down. But per diem, a lot of times can't be used because if you're receiving a per diem for, say, a hotel stay while you're out in the field, you're spending that money. So that's not necessarily income. That's money that you're receiving to cover an expense. So we don't really consider that income, right? The other one that gets tricky is overtime income. So overtime income we can use, but we do need a 2-year history. We do need to see that that income is solid. It's not, 1 year they made $50,000, this year they made $25,000. That's declining. That's going to be a problem. So overtime income has to have a 2-year history. We average it. It needs to be increasing or staying the same, not declining. And we need to have something from the employer saying that overtime will continue. The other one is bonus income. Bonus income gets tricky as well. The same thing, 2-year history. We need something to say it's going to continue. We do have to average it and it can't be declining. So there's different income sources that sometimes when people are qualifying, they get frustrated that they can't use that income even though they receive it. But keep in mind when we're qualifying you, we're qualifying 50% of your gross income for the housing payment. So even if you do receive this other income, that's great. But if you're not qualifying off your base, then maybe that payment's a little bit too high for you. And that's where we talk about payment comfortability. Make sure you're not going house poor. Make sure that everything is solid and solidifies for what makes sense for you in your whole situation. But there are different income types that are harder to use than others. The other one that people really get frustrated with is 1099 income. Even if you are working for an employer, but they pay you 1099 as a contractor employee, that is unfortunately more difficult to use. We do have to have 2 years of tax history on that. We need to see what expenses you're claiming from that. And then we need to look at the income after those deductions. So there's different incomes that we can use, different incomes that we can't use, but we will help walk you through all of that and we will do what we can to get you qualified for what you need.